All right. This is Danielle. um, First off, I just would love for you to tell us your story, what kind of how you got started in the business, and when you initially started, did you just immediately take off, and just like what has been your journey from there?
Hey guys, my name is Danielle. Can y'all hear me okay? I have my AirPods in, so okay, we're good. Okay. So I just wanted to thank Zoe for having me on. I'm seriously so humbled and so nervous. This is actually the first time someone's asked me to do a Zoom. And so my name is Danielle, like she said, and I have almost been in this business for 2 years, and that's crazy to say because I never imagined being in something like this. And so about actually almost 2 years ago in August of 2017, my friend Christy, she like messaged me and she was like, "Hey girl, I think that you would be so great at this business and what I do." And I was like, "Okay, like tell me more." And then so she told me, and then I kind of ghosted her, you guys. And that was in August of 2017. And then she messaged me again in September, like a follow up. And so then I messaged her back and I ghosted her. And so then after showing interest for just those 2 days, she messaged me like that following June, which was a 2018. And when she messaged me, you guys, I was just like at a point to where I said yes. I jumped right in. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I didn't even see her post, to be honest. I was just kind of like, okay, well, this chick is not gonna let me like just go. So I was like, okay, well, sign me up. Let's get started. So I did. And you guys, I it's just been a journey for me. And so anyways, when she messaged me, I got started. She voice messaged me, which got me even more excited. And so I think that it's super important that we do that. I took off pretty good in the beginning. I just did whatever I was told to do. I did a live Facebook video because she told me to. And all I got was a pack of wraps and I got some defining gel. And you guys, if you go to my Facebook, you'll see I was a klutz. I was sitting in a chair and I made like 50 videos before I went live. I was like, I'm just going to record myself. It'll be fine. I can just upload it. And she was like, no, Danielle, you have to go live. And I was like, oh, okay. So I like did all these things with my hands. I dropped my wraps. I dropped my defining gel. It was a complete wreck, I promise you. So if you want to laugh, just go back and look at it. But I'm no perfect person. It's a lot easier to do a live because I don't see y'all's faces. And anyways, so it took off pretty good. I was pumped, excited, and I had just graduated high school. So I was a fresh 18-year-old for about 6 months. And so anyways, I joined this business, got started, and so then I became a CNA. So I was a waitress and a CNA. And just messaging everyone and just doing this business really gave me a lot of free time for my schoolwork. And so then I was a waitress and a CNA, and it was kind of hard to fit this business in. But like I said, I just stuck with it. And I just remember doing a little bit of host to post. I didn't really do much. We didn't really have a good system. And now that we do, we are killing it. But like I said, I signed a lot of people in September of 2018 just because I think it was September or October because of the $20 kits. But like those people that signed, they're not even with me anymore. And so it's just been a complete journey. Like you always see the hills and the valleys. And no matter how long you've been in. And so then some things that I've learned, my chest is getting so red, you guys. When I get nervous, like, look, it's so embarrassing. Um, so it's important. Okay, I'm just being myself. It's just like, look, you guys, it's so bad. Okay, so some things that I've learned is just it's important to know what kind of people you want in this business. You shouldn't just accept anybody. I'm not saying that you can't put a value or a potential on somebody. It's just you want to be particular because if you're trying to draw people in and you're posting about who you are, obviously that's going to draw people in, but you just don't want to take anybody. And then it's important to be vulnerable and loud. I remember when I started this business, I didn't know how to post. I didn't know anything. I honestly, to God, think that I still don't know how to post, but I just do it anyways. And I do self-development and that helps me post. And so personal development is number one key, you guys. It is 90% your mind and 10% work. And so we give you all the things to do. You just got to do them. And also use your bad days to your advantage. A lot of times when I was going throughout this business and each month, I would have a couple bad days and we all do. It's fine. It's normal and we're human. But when you put that energy into something like your business, it completely changes. And so whenever you're having a bad day, don't be don't get so upset about it. I'm not saying you shouldn't like at least you should talk about it. You shouldn't complain or post the drama or whatever, because we don't do that. We don't teach that. But it's okay not to have a good day. Okay. We're not perfect. And then also people will buy into you before they buy into the business. It's so true when you join. A lot of people, I've heard success stories where they just go like full force and they promote, and then some don't, like me. And people watched me for the longest time, even though they didn't comment, they didn't message me, they didn't like, no nothing. They just watched me. And then later down the road, I saw the reaps of it, and I saw the harvest and everything. And so that is just a few tips that I've learned. So yeah.
Okay. It like took my button away. I was like, what the heck? It literally like that
It's
entire
okay.
like, lower bar was gone no matter how many times I was touching it. LOL.
Oh my
I
gosh.
freaking love that. With your personal development, like what does that look like on like a daily basis, and how has it grown since I guess you've been in for 2 years? Like how has that grown for you, like take it seriously? Do you listen to like audiobooks? Do you listen to podcasts? Are you a reader? I'm a reader. I can't listen, but tell me.
So for me, it's kind of a mixture. So it's a good thing to read books. I have two of Rachel Hollis books. I love her Girl Wash Your Face and Girl Stop Apologizing. I think it's good for guys too. I see a guy on here. It's honestly like just stuff with hi. You're like you, Megan, and Rachel are like right here. I'm just see y'all. And so I love to just read stuff that is interesting to me. I am a hopeless romantic. And so, like, stuff like that interests me, and I'll read a book. But if it's like science or history, heck to the no, I will not. But I love Rachel Hollis, and I love Abby Kappa. She has a really good podcast, and they're free to listen to. So I love listening to her. And then right now, I'm actually starting a book that Joel Dunn is doing. It's called It Takes What It Takes. And it's by Trevor Mauer. It's on Audible, or you can get on Scribd or something like that. But ever since I joined this business, I didn't really stay consistent with personal development, just because I was told to do it, but I kind of did it here and there. And as we talk more, you'll understand why I just didn't do it all the time. But now that like I've come back from conference the second time, I've just really like taken it seriously, because that is something I struggle with, you guys. I am a red, and I love to go for things, but a lot of times it's just my mind that stops me. And it's the things that I'm telling myself, and it's the things that my mind is telling me. And instead of me telling it, it's I'm listening to it, and it's not doing me any good. And so that's just kind of what I've been doing. I get up in the morning before I do self development. I read my Bible and I do a devotional, and that's self development too. But if you're not religious or anything, like I know a lot of people are in this business and they're not, but you need to get into something that fits you. So whether that's a podcast, whether that's reading a book. I know that the 10X rule or millionaire mindset or other stuff, like they're really, really, really good. I just haven't got around to them. But that's just what self development looks for, like for me. And I don't touch my phone until I do it, because if you open your phone, have you ever like reached over the bed, grabbed it, and saw like a really like like a text that made you angry? Have you ever saw something like that that just made you get in a bad mood in the morning? That's why I don't touch my phone. I go get my coffee. I make my coffee. If I make it and I record it, I do post it. But then it's like I put my phone over there, and I just get to self development, because I have to pour into myself before I pour into my team, before I go talk to anybody, because it could be one person that like changes your whole day, and like gets you in a bad mood. So
I love that so much. That's something that like I've really been prioritizing. Is
mhm.
like literally like putting it on the charger and putting it in the other room, like not picking it up until I'm like, okay, I've had my time with the Lord. And that's like a separate thing from like any other things that I'm reading or listening to. And it's been so, so good. And so I love that you mentioned that. All right. So you kind of alluded to your comeback story, just like you have been fighting um the hills and valleys, and you did re-rank to Ruby last month, which was so awesome. Can you just kind of touch on what shifted in your mind to finally be like, you know what, I'm tired of just like maintaining distributor, executive, like I am ready for more, and I'm ready and hungry to like go further, and just like what that looked like for you and how you're continuing to use that momentum into this next month.
Okay, so I just decided, you guys, it was literally just me looking in the mirror and like deciding to go all in. And I had never made a decision like that. Now I've been like really excited in the beginning of the month, and then things have happened, but I decided last month that it was enough. I was tired. I got to the point where I didn't even want to go into eSuite and see distributor. Okay. And so I was like, I am tired of sitting here. Enough is enough. And until you get sick and tired of being where you're at, you're not going to do anything about it. And so I just got tired of doing that. And so when I lost rank, I don't know if y'all know this, but I lost rank last year. So I went Ruby in February and March. I lost it. No, I went Ruby in, February and March, lost it in April, got it back in May. But then ever since then, I've been paid as a distributor. And it was literally so hard to understand like what I was doing wrong and all these things. But when I decided to go all in and tired of seeing my paychecks low, I was literally getting paid as a low, like I was Ruby, but I was getting paid like as an Emerald, and not Emerald. I was getting paid as a distributor and as an executive. And so going for Ruby wasn't as much as a work issue as it was like a heart and mind issue. And I talked about personal development and how really important it is, because it is, you guys. And I'm gonna be real. I let other people's opinions and I let the remarks stop me from reaching my goals. It was like in the beginning, I was like, I'm not gonna listen to them. They don't get to tell me this and that. But then it was like the middle of the month. I was like, what happened? Like I just fell off. But what I learned is that if they don't know you personally, they don't get to call the shots, you guys. They don't take it personal, because you know what? My team and I, we've been through a lot, you guys, and there's been people on my team that have not stuck with me, and that's just with the ups and the downs, like Zoe was saying. But like I'm just saying that if these people are not going to do this with you, then they don't get to call the shots. If they're not going to get in the ring and fight with you and do all the things, you should not care what they say. And as hard as that is, especially if it's coming from friends, which I heard it from, if it's coming from coworkers, which I heard it from, if it's coming from family that you live with, I heard it. Okay. I get it. They doubted me. They didn't think I could do this. And that was hard. It was. I was like, you know what? I'm going to shut you out. I don't care if I have to block you, unadd you as a friend on Facebook. If you're going to be negative and you're going to talk negative, like leave me alone. Like don't talk to me about my business. Like that's something that you don't have to talk about. But you guys, if you've been to that place and you've lost rank, give yourself grace. You know what? When I was tired of seeing distributor every single month, and when I finally got to the point where I needed to change and I had to change, I just had to get over myself too. And I had to show myself that I was capable of doing it again. And so I never had a mind shift like that before. I know a lot of us have ahas, however you want to say it, in this business, and those are great. But until last month, I never had like that just click. It was like something I never experienced before. Okay. And so I loved that when I made that mind shift, it was just like things just started happening. And it was just like, going to my team and spending more time with them and investing more time with them. That is what helps me get back to Ruby, because if you're a leader, you have to invest in your team and you have to connect with them. And then also like so in Rachel Hollis's book, this is what also helped me last month. She has this like 10-10-1 rule thing. And so I decided to like do it. And what it is I can't remember the first 10 thing, but it was like you write 10 goals. And then you have one goal that you're focusing on for the rest of the year. Okay. And so I wrote that. And then it was just 10 goals that I wanted to be in the next 10 years. And so then after I wrote my goal, I wrote what I was running from and what I was running toward. Okay. And so I'll share something personal, because if I'm going to be vulnerable, if I'm going to teach y'all to be vulnerable, I want to be vulnerable. Oh my goodness. Vulnerable. Okay. And so whatever your why is, you need to really think about it. They say your why makes you cry, and it does, okay? And so I never really thought about this, but I was just writing this down. And I was writing down that I want $5,000 in my savings account by the end of the year, okay? And that's probably not like too big of a number, but it's big enough for me because growing up, I was never the type to have a lot of stuff. My parents divorced when I was younger. I remember particularly writing in my journal that I have right here ever since I was like 8. I remember writing in here when I was 12 years old. I wrote that my dad only had $200 and he had to pay the light bill, and we only had $20 left. That was that I read that today and I like teared up because I remember just feeling so anxious all the time as growing up, and still as a 20-year-old, you guys, some things don't change, and that's okay. We have those problems, but you can't let them define you. And so when I wrote on this piece of paper every single day, I would write my 10 goals, and then I'd write the $5,000, and then I would write, I remember going to Dollar General to buy dog food, and my dad couldn't even afford batteries, and so he stole them. And I just remember feeling so bad and everything, but it was so sad that my dad did work, and I didn't have like a really good it just wasn't a good like thing relationship kind of thing as he got, as I got older, because he like drank and stuff. But just the money aspect of it, you guys, it was just like he worked and worked and worked, and I appreciate like all that he did. But him stealing batteries, like we didn't even have enough money for that. Like that just like really like hits me home. And so whatever you find that like hits you in your why, you need to keep that in the back of your mind every single day, because I promise you, if you think about it every day, that will keep you from not doing the work. Because when you know what you're running from, there's only one thing to run toward. Run away from it. You guys, create a new you. You don't have to live in your past. You don't have to live in the money mindsets that you've grown up with. And that was really, really hard because I just remember growing up hearing all that and hearing, even my mom. So it was like both in the same, it was like just both, on my shoulders. And it was really, 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 I was just really tired. And so I decided to change that. And that's what's been really pushing me, the last month and this month, and just really grabbing a hold of that. And then also like for Ruby, when I went back and I was like, I'm going to do this, I just remembered what somebody said, and these points are not something I come up with. They're definitely things you've probably heard. But remember that it's not your team's job to get your promotion. It's yours. Okay. Just because somebody's not working doesn't mean you can't get it. Now, it's fun to promote with somebody working, and you need to be bringing in new blood. But just remember, it is your promotion at the end of the day. It is not your team's job to go get it for you. So you need to be leading them the right way. And so also, I've done a lot since last month. Okay. Like I've never done any of this as much as I've done in 2 years. So I got an accountability partner. I don't mean your downline, and I don't mean your upline. I mean a sideline sister, somebody that is the same rank and you're both going for something higher. Okay. So I have a girl, her name's Corrigan. She's super sweet. But we share when we chat every day. We do a power hour. We send our host post trackers. So we've been talking every day, and I've been talking about upline every day, but I'm just saying having that accountability partner really, really helps. Excuse me. Daily check-ins with my upline has helped. Getting my charts out every single day, having them in front of me, knowing what I need, has really pushed me to keep going. Host post tracker has really changed my business. I started that last month. Every single day, you guys, whatever works for you, do it. Some people use these trackers. These are the 3 trackers that if you don't have, I'm sure Zoe has. But for me, personally, I didn't have the trackers at the time. So what I use is a notebook, okay? And it's green highlighter because it works. But anyways, so for May 3rd, I did 10 boxes, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. So I do 6 product posts, which y'all all know about host posts by now, hopefully. And then 2 opportunity posts and 2 giveaway posts. And I slacked. I didn't do 2 opportunity posts and didn't do 2 giveaway posts because these product posts were blowing up, and I got like 11 posts or 10 posts. Anyways, so this is what I do. And then when they tell me they're going to post, and I see their post, I put their name down. And then whatever giveaway you're doing, even if you're not doing a giveaway, create one. And then I highlight their names. And then on the back is where I write all of my potentials. Okay, so normally people don't write down every name that they see on a comment, but for me, I'm not agreeing by no means. I need to stay organized. And if this is what helps me, and if it helps you, do it. Okay, if writing down every single name is taking maybe too much time, then you can also like write a little note on your tracker, like had a lot of comments, go back and check. But for me, to keep myself accountable, I have to write down every name until I find something different. But just something about having that pen and paper out right beside of me is something that like just clicks with me. I don't know like why it hasn't before now, but it just does. And so that has really helped me. And I'm just going to continue doing these things until I get Ambassador Diamond, because I've learned that if I can do all these things, go Ruby again, these are more things than I've done going Ruby last time. But if I can do these things over and over and over every single month, that is what is going to get you to Ambassador and me to Ambassador. And so I love that. I don't even know like what to say, because it's really me and my team. And so it's not just me. So that's what we're doing, and we're going for Diamond, and we're going to get it. And I'm so excited. So.
Yes, I'm so excited. We have so many people on this team going Diamond this month and running so hard. And that is just like, I'm pumped because I've seen Diamond and what it does and like how it changes everything for you. And so I'm just so excited to have so many Diamonds on our team. But I love that. And and Host to Post, I feel like we tapped into it as like an organization at the very beginning of like 2018. And then it was like, it kind of disappeared for a while. And it's like, I love that it's like what we teach. And like even corporate is like instilling videos of teaching it and training for us. And so I love that. There was something you said, and I should have written it down, but it like clicked and I don't remember. It's going to come back to me like 2 hours later. It's fine. But thank you so much for being vulnerable first and foremost with us. I think it's super powerful of like remembering what you're running from, because that's going to be what drives you to keep running and keep going. And so I feel like that's so powerful. And so just thank you for sharing that and sharing a bit of like what you are running from, so you know like this is what I'm getting to move on from. As a leader, what has kind of been obstacles you faced? And you kind of touched on this with like realizing you can't let people dictate what you do as a leader, like from your downline. But what are some obstacles that you have faced, and how have you learned from them and like moved on from them, I guess?
Okay. So, I have always been a bossy little girl. Okay. My younger sister is 17 months younger than me. And growing up, she always followed me. She did whatever I told her to do. And it was just amazing because I didn't have to fight anybody. So, being a leader and being a red and a touch of blue and a little bit of yellow sometimes, being just being a leader is hard in general. But being what I've learned, and one of my obstacles, I actually have two big obstacles that I've overcome. And it's being discouraged and not having people do what they should. I come to realize that some people are going to be lukewarm. When you bring people into the business, and maybe you've done this yourself, but you've been in for a little bit and you get super, super excited, and then you sit down and you just don't do anything for like 2 weeks. And then you try to push, 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 push. And so as a person that used to be inconsistent, and then seeing my team do the thing that I used to do, it kind of aggravated me. And I just have to remember at the end of the day, it's their business and they can run it however they want, even after I train them. And also, like, hold on. Okay, yeah, it's their business, and it's coming down to like, I don't need to get upset. It's just like if they want it, then they're gonna do the things. And also just like bringing in new blood and focusing on what they need. And so just not getting discouraged or upset that they're not doing the things that you do. But also like because I wasn't doing the things I should. And so you have to lead by example. And so if I want my team to do what I want, if I want my team to do what I'm doing, I have to do the things too. And so just over the past couple of months, really like since I've been consistent, I've noticed my team hasn't, but that's okay. Like, I know that they're going to, and sometimes they get on a high and sometimes they are pumped up, which I'm super excited about because that's how I used to be. But like, I'm not going to get upset anymore because they're not doing it consistently. It's like you can't control everybody, even though sometimes you want to. And being a red, it's hard to let people just do their thing, even though I am their leader, you know? So it's kind of like a control thing, which you just kind of have to let go of sometimes. And then also like letting their age or relation to me get in the way and stopping me from leading properly. I went to conference last no 2019, and I came out of conference. My older sister went with me because I couldn't go by myself. It was weird. So my sister went and she stayed with me and everything. So I came out of conference. I was like, "Girl, you need to join this business." She's like, "Oh no, I can never do that." And she's like, "I'm not that type of person to post and everything." Well, she joined the business. Like I think we had, I think it was like $20 again. But she joined the business, you guys, and I don't have anybody younger than me on on my team except for two new girls that just joined. So when she joined, I just kind of felt overwhelmed. I was like, how am I going to lead my sister? She's like 33. Like, I don't understand like how I can tell her what to do when she's older than me. And so because of age, I just felt like I didn't have the position to lead them. I didn't feel qualified to tell them what to do. But I learned that my sister or whoever joins me, they want to make money or maybe they need friendships or maybe both. But it's my duty and my diligence to lead them. If they join me or they join you, they joined you for a reason. They see what you're doing. So you need to take ownership and you need to lead them. It doesn't matter if they like it or not. Sorry, like this is a business. It is a business. It's not a lollygag kind of thing. And no matter if they're older than me or related to me, I've just kind of learned that because of this obstacle, I'm not going to let it get in the way anymore. You know, like I'm going to have people of all ages in my business. And maybe you do too. Maybe you have people older, younger, moms. Maybe you're not married. I'm not married and I don't have babies, but a lot of my teammates do. And so that's okay because we're all from different walks of life and we can all do the same thing. And so that was two big obstacles that I've really stepped over. And I know that it's going to come with more and more obstacles, but it's okay. I can get through it. And so, yeah, that's like two big things.
I love that. That's something that like I've worked through overcoming, just in different aspects. And so like, yes, preach it, please. um, how so how I guess do you duplicate teaching host to post within your team, and how is that like all you do for enrollments with volume, or do you message for distributors? Kind of I guess touch on that of like what do you really teach and like duplicate within your leaders and like layered leadership and down.
Okay. So recently it's been a lot of post to post just because it's the hottest thing. It's like the thing that's like going for everybody. And so what I teach my team is to get the 10 host to post up, for them to have a tracker and also for them to be just like consistent with that. But also like we don't really cold message. I don't really call it a cold message anymore because you're reaching out to people. And if you're messaging your friends, then you're not really a cold market. But however, some people can get turned off by that. Christy, my friend, my upline, she cold messaged me, and at the time I didn't like act negative. I think my AirPods are dying. Hold on. Y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Oh, hold on. Can y'all hear me? Hold on.
I can hear you. Yeah, you're good.
Okay, you can't. Oh, hold on. What's wrong with this? Okay. So, if they're your friends, I believe that we teach that you can message them to host a post, which is a nonchalant thing to do. Just say, hey, I'm doing a blank giveaway and didn't want to leave anyone out. I just thought maybe you'd be interested. Would you mind throwing up a post for me? And the worst thing they can say is no, but that gives you an opportunity to message them. And then over the course of my 2 years, I taught my team a little bit of cold message just because if you feel that within your gut, I feel like you can. I wouldn't do it all the time. And so post to post has really helped us because it one grows your network. If you're doing the opportunity post and the giveaway post, that's going to continually add people to your network. And so you're having people to message, because if people comment on a host post or a giveaway, that gives you a reason to message them, even if you've never messaged them before. And so that's kind of what we've been teaching and duplicating within our team. And host post does like all the 4 things. I think it's like posting, or is it posting, messaging, following up, and all the things. And so ultimately it's our duty to reach out. And so that's what we do. But we do teach interaction, and we teach building a relationship. It's not all about closing a sale or getting them to join your business. Sometimes you have to create those relationships, but also sometimes people like me just want to jump in and okay, let's do this, And so it really just depends on your market. If you feel like you don't have to feel like you're bothering people, I don't feel like you should, because your job is to reach out. But however, whatever your upline is telling you to do, what we do is we just do host posts mainly. And then the opportunity posts that people put up for me, a lot of people just message me directly, and they're like info on my actual text message. And so that's how I get a lot of distributors, because people don't even comment on those host to posts that I get people to put up. They'll just directly message me. And so I have maybe 20 to 25 people in my text message. I don't have a clue what their name is, but I know that they're interested. And so every couple of days I go back and I'm like, hey, I have a spot open. And, I try to talk to them a little bit to figure out what kind of person they are too. Because we don't bring in nasty. We don't bring in people that are negative, So yeah, that's just kind of what we're duplicating right now.
I love that. And that's such a good tip, I guess, especially for distributor opportunity host post, having them just text you instead of messaging or saying comment. You can still work on that this week. I love that idea. That it just makes it easier. I guess one last question, and then I'll kind of just see if if y'all have any other questions that you want to specifically ask her, will you put them in the chat? But I guess as you were you're working towards Diamond, you're working towards goals. How do you keep pushing for new goals once you've already met your goal? I hope that makes sense. So if you've already gone Ruby once, how do you keep pushing for the next thing and keep dreaming and being excited for what's next, even if you've missed goals in the past?
Okay. So like I said, I lost rank for almost a year, and I'll touch on this a little bit. I think it was one of, hold on. So when I lost rank, it was I don't even know why I didn't even quit, you guys. It was anybody would have quitted, but it was just something within me. And so when I'm pushing for Diamond, it's just so crazy to say that. Consistency is everything. Just like I just talked about and reiterating, because it's so simple. You just have to be consistent and do the things that your leader is telling you to do, which is basically the same thing that we do. And so last month, I sacrificed a lot of time with family. I spent a lot of hours in my room, on my desk, in my bed, just working. And it was hard because I wanted to go watch the movie. I wanted to go out. Which you can't really go out right now, but you know what I mean? You just have to sacrifice something. And then also for me, I know a lot of people if you use TikTok, drop it in the chat. TikTok is my worst enemy. Okay. I had to delete that sucker twice. I thought deleting it was going to help me be focused. And then I got it back and I was like, I'm not going to get on it. And then I had to delete it again because I was spending an hour on TikTok, maybe 2 hours a day. I was like, nope, that's not going to get me any closer to my goals. I'm just scrolling. So I deleted it, you guys. And then I also deleted Netflix. Outer Banks is so good, but it wasn't worth me putting in before my goals. And so I made that decision. You can always re-download them. But for me, I couldn't just have it on my phone and not look at it or not do anything. So I deleted them 2 things because they're so addicting. And I just left them out of my sight, left them out of my brain, secluded myself. And I was like, nope, we're not doing this. We're going to go for it because I'm tired of being where I'm at. And so I didn't really go out as much. Like I said, I was rallying my team. I put them all in a group chat. We have one big group chat, but for me and my downline, I put them in a chat, and I was just like getting them together and getting them hyped, because you have to be their hype girls or hype guy too. And it's not just about the business, you guys. It's about, sometimes you have to take off your distributor hat and you have to be a friend. Because in the end, we have friendships. It's not just a business relationship. And so ask them, like, hey, how's your day going? Is there anything I can do for you? I've noticed you've been a little distant. What's going on? And maybe they've had something tragic happen. Like, you just have to work through their hard, like, you have to be there with them, and you have to like work through it with them. Okay. And then doing more personal development is going to get me to diamond. I know it. I know with every new level comes a new devil. Heard it 1,000 times. And so I just know that doing more personal development, protecting my mind, and not letting the negative come in is really going to help me. And then I like to check my orders and the declines and all the projected volume. And as the 15th comes around, I'll be checking it more frequently, but I like to check it maybe every other day, just to make sure we're on track. And then I do a lot of the same 6 lists over and over. So if you're not seeing results, massive action equals massive results. So just do more of what you're doing. You have everything you need, as what Kelly Brown says. You have everything you need. Just do more of it. It's not hard. It's just do more of it so you can get to where you want to be faster. And like I said, you're going to have mountains and stuff. You just can't look at it and cry. You can't look at it and sigh. You just have to put your head down. You may not know how you're going to get there, but you will get there. I promise you. Just keep going and just do the things every single day. Do more of them. That's what's going to get me to diamond and y'all to diamond. I promise you. And so I'm so excited. And then I've just been more inspired and just engaging and plugging in. I asked my upline a question. I was like, so what have I done, differently? Like, what have you saw? Cause I was like, I'm just so stuck. And, on a question like this. And, she was like, well, you've been, more engaged and stuff. And so when you're more engaged and everything, you're teaching your team to do that. And I wasn't doing that. And I take ownership of that. And you should too. And so just make a change and just, you're teaching your team to take ownership as well. And so those are the things that are going to get me to diamond. Yeah, I'm so excited.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm so freaking pumped. Like, y'all, when I've been following Danielle, and like, I thought she was a diamond because of like the way that I see her just owning her business and being so excited, and just, I legit was like, oh, this girl is a diamond because she acts like one and she's doing things to be one. And so I'm so stinking pumped. Do you have any, I guess, just last encouraging words, or just anything else that you wanted to share, just to encourage us to continue just pushing for these next promotions, or just anything at all?
Yeah. So stay plugged in. I know I just talked about that, but it doesn't matter what happened last month, you guys, or this last year. No matter how long you've been in, what happened last month or last year happened. You can't go back. You can't change it. And so if you didn't work, that's on you. But there's good news. There's good news, you guys. You can break through, and the only thing stopping you is you. And your mindset has to change. You need to stop your mind from telling you what to do, and you need to tell it what to do. And just like riding a bike, you can't just hop on and automatically know how to ride. You have to practice. But maybe it's time you take those training wheels off. Maybe it's time you just go full force. And hey, you may hit a bump. You may like do a full front cartwheel or whatever. You're gonna hit, and you're gonna fall, and you're gonna get scraped, and you're gonna get bruised. But it's okay. You're not gonna be broken. And so it's just important that you just get off the training wheels and just go full force. And failure is your best friend if you learn from it. Don't let failure knock you down once and keep you there. Get up, learn, and get to moving, because you have places to go, things to do, and goals to accomplish. And you can't stay on the ground. Okay. You just can't. And also, like, achieve, it's failure's your best friend, and success can be your worst enemy. A lot of times I hear leaders get to a rank, or I'm at Ruby, and I could be like, okay, I'm just going to stay here. Like, I'm just going to hang out. No. It should push you to go further and further and further. You got that LC today? Great. Go get another one. You got that DT today? Great. Go get another one. Because that could be like the next Jade Hooper or the next Cheyenne Knox or Rachel Jones or Ashley Mayfield. I mean, dang, you guys, don't y'all want one of those? Like I do. And so I just love that. And you're never too far. You guys, every time I looked at my chart at the beginning of the month, and my friend Christy, she was like, you're only this far away. And I was like, dang, that is a long way away. But like, you're never too far. Stop giving place to your emotions. As women, I do put us in this category because we do let our emotions run wild sometimes. But just like Kelly Brown, turn those suckers off. And if they don't serve you, flush them down the toilet, okay? And then rise and run. You guys, it is not time to sit down. It is time to be committed and just stay focused. As you get to the middle of the month, if you slow down, don't. Change it. If you're slowing down and you're not getting anywhere the next month, that's the problem. Because if you're posting and doing all these things for 7 days, because I know I was, and you're not doing anything for the next 2 weeks, and let's just say Zoe is doing all the things for 7 days, and then she stops for 2 weeks. But I'm doing all the things, and I'm consistent with my product posting and my opportunity posting, and I'm consistent with all this. And we both have potentials, maybe the same potentials that follow us, because there's so many distributors. And her potential customer that wanted her skinny brew and chocolate greens no longer sees her posting about it, but she sees me posting about it, and Zoe's not following up. Who is this potential going to go to? It's going to go to me because I'm being consistent. And then she just lost that because she's been planting seeds, she's been posting, she's been watering it. But if you're not doing that the rest of the month and you think picking it back up on the 25th is going to work, it is not. You're not going to have any potentials because they're not going to trust you. They don't know you. You only show up for a week and a half, 12 days, I guess. Don't expect your business to change. And that is a total red personality on y'all right now, okay? It is tough love. It is something I had to learn the hard way for almost 2 years, and I'm tired of seeing other people go through it too. And so I don't know if Zoe is a yellow, but she can like love on y'all a little bit after I get done with this. But also like I said, don't promote alone. Find people to come with you. It's fun. It's fun getting on Zooms. It is fun. Like just hanging out, you guys. We were on Zoom the last day of the month for like 5 or 6 hours. It was me, my upline, and one of my friends, Lauren Jewett. And you guys, it was the funnest thing ever. We laughed. We worked. We just had so much fun. So it's fun. It's fun to do it. It's okay, and you can do it alone. Just it's funner to do it with someone else. Just have fun. Don't overcomplicate it. Like it's not complicated, and your brain likes to do that. So just stop it and talk better to yourself, and just go for it, you guys, because you can do it. I promise.
I love it so much. You didn't know, but I'm the yellowest of yellow of
oh gosh,
entire downline. The yellowest of yellow. Like I'm 100% yellow and like 30% anything else, and then like 1% red. But I freaking love it. And even then, like that still was so encouraging. It wasn't like a harsh red. Like tough love is sometimes needed, and so I freaking love that. Thank you so much. I freaking adore you. And I hope I am so glad that the rest of my team got to experience you, and I hope they all go follow you because you're great. But thank you so much for just sharing everything, sharing your heart, and just being so encouraging. There's my chat is like blowing up, but I
thank you guys.
So yes, and I can't wait to see you because on the next like Zoom you're gonna be a diamond. Yes. See you on whatever it is. Next month, you're going to be invited to Cammy's Zooms every Wednesday because you're going to be a diamond. And all of these other people are going to be diamonds. And I'm so pumped.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Yes, I'm so pumped. But I hope everybody has a great night. Thank you again so much. I'm so excited for you and just everything that the Lord is doing with your business and with your team, and just seeing everything sprout, all of the fruit. But y'all have a good night. Brooke, you can stop the recording. I realize that I am not the person to even end this.